Hey guys, we're starting a new series called Analyzing the Original. This is where I look at content that I put out in the world and I try to add more context. This could be a really fruitful series, so we're gonna try it out. We're trying to innovate. You've seen over, under. We're gonna try to do this and let's get into the first episode. You could have ended up being a bus, a tree. I just don't get the mentality of being head down sad on a Monday morning. Ah, the classic.
So what went through your head on February 22nd, 2015, when you thought you had to make this video?
Were we doing Garyvee?
No, this is before.
Why were you there? Did I text you in the morning and say?
On Saturday night, before you got hyped.
I now remember. I was reading, almost everything that I come up with comes from reading and listening. I always talk about, you hear me talking, you hear me interrupting people on show. The reason I interrupt, I think, in podcasts is I've already heard what the person's gonna say and I do a bad job like really thinking about the audience because I'm in the moment and I'm not a great interviewer for that reason, but I am listening and I was reading comments, Drock, and was like, man, people fucking hate Monday. And I was like, we need to change the perspective on this. Like, people are really depressed, anxious, upset, angry, and they're alive and they can do something about it. So first let's put things into perspective, and I really just, I texted you, it was like, come over Monday morning, we're gonna film this shit. I'm glad that it was like a gloomy day, and I'm glad it like turned out to be like this. This is a real classic.
What made this video so successful, do you think?
A couple things happened. I think it caught a lot of people's truth, which is in general what I think my content does. I think the setting was very raw and real. I mean, this is now, Drock, we're getting old. This is 6 years ago. This did really well on Instagram? On Facebook. It was just raw, it was super real. I really meant it. I feel like I'm always at my best when I mean it.
You remember how you ended the video?
No.
You remember how you started the video?
I can like almost feel the start, but I don't necessarily remember.
Cool, let's watch. Wait, I was gonna have you try to recreate it before you listen to it.
You could have been hit by a fucking bus. I remember the bus coming by. You could have been born a tree, or you could have been born a bus. You could have ended up being a bus, a tree.
Right, ready?
So it's early Monday morning, and I've been wanting to make a Monday morning video for a long time, and finally, Drock, we're doing it. So, real quick. Stop right there. A couple weeks ago, I wrote a blog post about smoke then fire. I'm always smoking, I'm always smoking. So clearly what happened in that weekend was I read enough DMs or emails that finally got me over the top that my smoke became fire, which was me saying that to the audience is like, this has been on my mind, and it has. People hating Monday is something I've really been in tune with because I hated Monday from 1982 to 1998 because I hated school.
Okay, go ahead.
This is just a rant, very simple, and something that I want you to pass on or watch every Monday morning because the level of complaining is unacceptable. Look, what if I told you this was the last Monday morning of your life? What if I told you you died this week? Would you complain about your crap job? Think about that. Today I was with a guy for 15 minutes who's working with the Sasha group, and he talked about always hearing me about this, always resonated, and then his son had a brain tumor. And he was going so hard, all these businesses, and he's like, who gives a shit? I was like, yeah. And like people need to know that. Like people are complaining right now about pay, about burnout, about COVID, not going skiing, and like, cool, I get it. And there's nothing wrong with being disappointed, but fucking being dwelling and devastated and like life is ruined when there's so much pain in the world around people who've really lost loved ones or died or really, really affected by this disease. You gotta put things in perspective. And I really do believe that people would not hate their Monday and complain about their job if they knew that it was their last Monday. They just wouldn't think about the world that way and think living that way while being patient. It's that friction of the opposite opinions. Like live like it's your last day on earth, but like anticipate living for 50 years. It's a tough juxtaposition for people to handle opposite thinking, and I think that's what really works for me. Or that test you don't want to take, I doubt it. You would go much higher level thinking. Well, that's really what it takes. It takes understanding that if you're not pumped right now, if you're begrudging what you're about to do, if you're not looking forward to it, look, I respect practicality. You gotta go through school because your parents want you. Don't begrudge, kids. You gotta pay your rent. You got student loans, I get it. But please recognize. By the way, that's just a moment of less, if we're doing the analyst, like, who gives a fuck that I didn't say a word? You got the point. People like stop because they're like, oh, I lisped a little bit on like that word. I don't give a fuck, just penetrate through. Like, people will connect with your authenticity, not if you pronounced a word properly. Anybody that gets caught up on fucking pronunciation and grammar is playing the fucking small game anyway.
Why do people get caught up?
Because they're fucking micro, fear-based. They need to control little things to make them feel comfortable. Like, because they're nitpicking, because they're trying to tear down the person that's making the content because they wish they were. Because they grew up in a proper framework where it was unacceptable, but there's so much deep unhappiness playing in that framework. There's nobody ecstatic and glowing that they lived life properly around pronunciation or grammar, I promise. This internet thing created way more opportunity for all of us, way more. I mean, look. When you know the world's abundant, you can get happy. You could have had sex like 3 minutes later and you wouldn't even exist. That's true. And you're complaining. You could have ended up being a bus. Who wants to be a bus? I just don't get the mentality of being head down sad on a Monday morning. It's not practical. Monday morning, my bitch. I'm gonna make you Saturday, Monday morning. That's what I want to do every morning, and that's what I want from you. Please, take a step back and think about how awesome it actually is. 100%. And then recognize that you can attack the world in a totally different way because you were lucky enough to be born during this era. Is how you see it. Monday. Yeah, honestly, like Monday the brand like pisses me off the way other things, like branding of things that are like, you know, Friday, thank God it's Friday, hump day. It's like a whole systematic machine to accept being unhappy in your job. Like, it's not a good idea. And I think life is how you see it. And if you think it's supposed to be a life of like not liking your job, you just gotta get through it, put on your hat, like things that you have to do, keeping it real. Keeping it real negative. A lot of people are keeping it real negative. I want to keep it real positive. There's always opportunity if you take on accountability, patience, practicality, focus. Like, you can make it better because millions and tens of millions and hundreds of millions of people have made their lives better over the last 30 years. So why can't you? That's real talk. I'm really glad I said it because that's fucking truth. If tens of millions of people over the last 25 years have figured out a way to make their life better, why can't you? Look, I'm a feedback machine, as you heard. Please leave a comment. If I've ever brought you value, please leave a comment right now so I can get a sense of where this is going. What did you like about this? What stood out? What should we be thinking about? This community of ours is a togetherness thing. I need your feedback. Set your alerts, triple digits on Instagram, bells and whistles on YouTube. Set your alerts. I need your feedback. I need your feedback because I want to make it better. I want to make it better for you. Please leave your comments on this new series. YouTube watcher, what's up? It's Garyvee. First of all, thank you so much. I hope you're doing super well during these times. I also want to ask you, please subscribe because my commitment and exploration of YouTube is about to explode. Stories, polls, more content, more engagement, more surprise and delight. This is the time to subscribe. I hope you consider it, and I hope I see you soon.